You were tuned in to episode 85. Yes, 85 for the Goodfellas podcast. G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. And got the X Factor of the show with us today. Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, also known as about to be 1.1K. That's Boxing First Vlog. What's going on, player?
Man, I'm just in these streets trying to get these people to stop sleeping on us like we're food time, but folks gonna do what they want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know how that go, man. Big shout out to Shane. Um he might drop in here today, might not. But we had a pretty good one yesterday, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta talk Stevenson, Valdez, and before we get into Stevenson Valdez, I actually want to touch on the undercard, because nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about the
I
undercard.
plan on it. I plan on it, but I'm still waiting for the information. Like we got sites like BoxRec haven't put out the full card. I'm waiting for Box Live to give me some information. So it's
Well, I mean, I got it.
you got it.
Yeah, I got
I
it.
mean, the ink. Like I'm talking about, like like at the
Now,
fights.
I don't know what's on the television portion because with ESPN. So for the people that may be new to watching ESPN boxing, it's kind of weird how they do it in terms of how they broadcast their fights. So a lot of their undercard fights will come on ESPN, ESPN Plus. So they'll run it up until like pretty much like either the third to the main event or up to the co-main, and they'll literally cut it off from ESPN Plus, and then they'll put it on regular ESPN. They won't give you a warning. They won't say, "Hey, we're going over to the main channel. Go jump over to the main channel." Like it's equivalent to if we were live here and we're immediately going on the vlogs channel. I'm gonna tell you, "Hey, we're about to stop the live here, but we about to start right back up on vlogs channel." Like that's common sense. They don't do that on ESPN when it comes down to having like big time fights that's going to be on regular ESPN. So from that aspect, vlog, I don't know what's going to be on ESPN Plus or what's not. Um, I mean, some of the main fights, Keyshawn Davis, is going to be fighting Esteban Sanchez. That's a good fight.
Hey, that to me, that fight tells me that they want to fast track this dude. Now
Mm-hmm.
that you got Devin Haney on the playing field, not that he's part of the team, but he's on the playing field. So you want to get your guys in that mix as fast as possible. Again, you still got a back door. I'm gonna do an article on this, so I ain't gonna tap into it too much, but we still got a generational fight that could possibly happen on that platform. So I mean, I like the youngsters that's coming up. They got Abdullah Mason on there. That's a young monster. You understand what I'm talking about? So
Yeah.
the young part of the card is phenomenal as far as the upstarts from the Olympic and guys like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, as much flack as Top Rank and Bob Arum get sometimes, when it comes to these young pups, they groom them right. They groom them
Right.
right.
Honestly, everybody right now has a group of young pups. I'm gonna give TMT their props. They got a nice couple group, a nice two young pups coming up. Dezan does. They got Ford. They got Williams, Emma Williams. That is so. And now we
Yeah.
got Keyshawn Davis. We got what's the other cat that's on there? Please, his name slips my mind. He was in the Olympics too. Um, he's on the fight card. Look at the fight card for me, Jeff.
Uh,
He came out with
Antoine Cobb,
Cobb. No, I don't think that's him. It's another
Troy
cat.
Osley,
Yeah, Troy
Troy
Isley.
Osley.
That's
Yeah,
Troy
yeah,
Isley. Yeah, so they do got some steam with the next crop coming up. It's just how do you want to fast track them? Like you see what I'm saying? Because some of
yeah,
the cats that came out of Olympics, they're not youngsters. Some of these cats are 24, 25 years old dudes. So Do you really want to slow pace these cats, or you don't want to overmatch them too fast too? So it's interesting, but each
Yeah.
platform does have a nice little, at least one or two little guys you might be able to look forward to in the
Yeah.
future on platforms.
Facts. Big shout out to YSM Sports Media up in this joint early, man. Shout out to you, bro. Said, damn, that kid is 18-1. They really believe in Keyshawn. Yeah, bro, that's a hell of a statement, man. Like that's a hell of a statement. And I think I think when it comes down to it, it's hard to talk Bob Arum as a this color. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to talk Bob Arum in the fast track and somebody this color. You know what I mean? So the fact that they're doing that with Keyshawn is just
I
saying a
think
lot. Saying a lot.
what it is, Bob could have. This is just an outsider. I'm just being an outsider looking in. He could have looked and seen what he possibly lost with Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
See how you can learn from something, even though you might still in the public view feel like, yo, I'm still me. But on the backside, you might be like, yo, I could have slid a little different. He's just not telling us that so he can save face. But I do think it's a situation with a guy like Keyshawn who's growing fast, because you want to take advantage of him in these lighter weights that are hot right now. You see what I'm saying? Because in 2 years, he could easily be 154. Easily.
Yeah, and YSM stole the words out of my mouth, man. Add Charlie Sheehy to the mix. Yeah, Charlie nice too. I like Charlie. You don't like Charlie like that? You ain't
He
seen enough?
reminds me of Joey Spencer. He reminds me of a Joey Spencer.
You know the thing that's crazy, yo? I'm all for moving the person the correct way. But as far as Joey Spencer is concerned, I know we getting off topic here a little bit, but with Joey Spencer, I mean, when is the step up fight coming?
That's my point. Where I'm scared of him stepping up, like like a Prince Nassim sort of guy. Like, yo, will he really all of the things that we know he could do physically? Yeah. Will that partake if he gets hit by a guy that's on the next level? Will he, respond? We don't know. We gotta find out with any youngster in the sport like that.
Yeah, but I do like Sheehy. I like him. Like, so here's the thing. I don't like him no more than any other prospect the Top Rank picks up. Like, I think they're good. Like, they're skilled fighters. You know what I mean? And there's a reason why Top Rank don't just sign anybody. Coming out of the Olympics, things like that. So I get it, but the Olympics, that's kind of like the known pedigree, but that doesn't mean you're gonna have success in the game. Like, I mean, you take Terrell Gachet is an Olympian. Like, people don't know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Terrell Gachet is an Olympian. You know what I mean? So like, like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they judge it on. It's kind of like football. They judge it on college football versus someone coming from like JUCO or something like that. Like, college football is the more known commodity. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting to see how that play out. Well, basically, we got, who else is on the card? We got Andres Cortez is on the card. He's fighting Alexis Del Bosque. Who else? Jeremy Hill is on the card. He's fighting Raymond Morataya. Troy Isley's on the card. Your boy Nico Walsh is on the card. That's your guy right there. So it's a total of, outside of the main event, eight fights on the card. Total of 9 on the card. I'm assuming
they better not put Walsh on that TV side. I bet you they put him.
Walsh is definitely going to be on the TV side, bro. If I'm looking at this, and it's probably going to be Keyshawn and Esteban Sanchez. They either going to open up, either him or Nico going to open up, and the other fight is going to be the co-main.
Who is the co-main right now?
I don't know.
Is that Keyshawn fight an 8 or 10 rounder?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 10. No, it's 8. All of them are 8.
They can't.
Whoever's a co-main is
co-main.
whoever's the co-main is going to be an 8 rounder.
That is terrible. That
There's
is
no
fucking terrible.
there's no
But
10
you
rounders
only
on
do
here.
that. But you only do that if you have, in my estimation, a card that's Thompson Boxing-esque or any of the smaller tier guys. You're just trying to give guys a shine. So yeah, you don't have a 10 and 12 round fights mixed in with so many 6s and 8s. I don't know. That's why I said, man, this is technically matchmaking wise is a so-so card. And then on the flip side, it's not a great card because they put out one where they had the what's the other young phenom, Michaela Meyer. Her
Yeah.
card was terrible. I mean, just nothing jumped off the card to you to be like, yo, I can't wait till Saturday night. I'm finna check this fight out. So I don't know what they doing over there. If they grouping their youngsters in too much together, because you got them all on the same card. You got to mix these guys in with the vets, so we as fans can kind of try to gauge and match them up towards the future. You see what I'm saying?
That'd be the problem. It'd be a lot of these managers and stuff that be holding back these fights. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these managers, they want to keep them slow and steady, keep the bread
Yeah,
moving.
but that's not that. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying is like, okay, you got the youngster in the 8 round fight, Keyshawn Davis. Put another lightweight fight like a Comey Pedraza fight up there. You see what I'm saying? Something like that to kind of gauge where, you know what I mean, where Keyshawn would be towards the next level of lightweights or anybody else. Some other fight in that division that's not a headliner, not going to steal the main event shine. But
So you talking like showcasing side by side like how HBO used to do it.
exactly how they
Okay.
did with
I respect that.
Crawford, how they did with Gamboa, that
I can
sort of thing.
respect that. Yeah, no, I can
And
respect that.
especially if you're going to do it on the same card and they're not having weekly cards where you can kind of give one guy one weekend, give the next guy the next weekend. If you're going to do that, kind of put them on the card and gauge them properly towards the competition that's ahead of them. Not necessarily having to fight that competition.
Right.
I don't know. I would have done it a little better. I don't think I would have forced, because now you're giving us amateur fights, technically, if you want to look at it that way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it's 3 8 round fights, 1 6 round fight, and 4 4 round fights before the main event.
That's what I mean. You're giving us
Usually,
amateur fights before a real professional unification historical bout.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, you got probably you're looking at the first 4 fight. The first 3 fights is definitely showcase fights. Look like, then you got then you got Nico, you got Troy Isley, you got Sheehy on here, so they kind of spotlight fights, and then you getting down to the bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? The Jeremy Hill fight, then you got the Keyshawn fight, and then you got the those are really the 2 main ones, and then you got the main event. So usually the only difference between this card and other top ranked cards is you usually see at least 1 10 rounder in there. That is a little
Yes.
alarming.
Yes.
It's a little alarming. All the rest of this stuff.
But even if you would have made the Keyshawn Davis, what's the guy name he fighting again?
Esteban Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez fight a 10 rounder. That shows plans for the future for Keyshawn. You see what I'm saying? Like showing where he may be at, testing him. It might be a 10 round fight. Are you ready? You see what I'm saying? You're fighting a guy that's obviously mature in the game more than you. You know what I mean? 15 to 16 more fights than you got. So if you
I wonder
you
who decision that was. I
huh?
wonder who decision that was to make it 8 except for 10.
I question the lineup being so on paper amateur-esque. You know what I'm saying? And cupcakeish and
Well,
showcase.
Well, I'm not surprised because how much money's going into the main event, and this actually follows top ranked protocol in terms of how
What
they
they
put
yeah,
fight
they just
cards
did
together.
it the
This is how they
last week.
usually do it.
Yeah. They
They
did
gonna show.
everything they could not to have Michaela Meyer outshined on that card.
Yeah, and the thing is, like Top Rank does this. So they give you their usual card setup is like this. You got the main event. They give you a bunch of their young pups in more than winnable fights. And then they usually give you that one fight that's that 50-50 ball. On here, I don't see a 50-50 ball on here outside. Like, I don't see a 50-50 ball on here on the undercard. Now that's where that in the no 10 round joint, that's where it kind of steers away from the usual Top Rank lane that they go in terms of how they craft their bigger cards. But I mean, I don't have a problem with Keyshawn being on here. I mean, we just gotta face it. Nico's gonna be on any Top Rank card as long as they can milk him.
I see the televised card being Sheehy, Nico, Sheehy, Esteban, and Davis, and then what's the name? Because all them fights not going the distance, and if they do, they're shorter version fights. So you still gonna have a 2 to 3 hour television, time, network time. So
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what fights actually make the television portion.
I'm sure
the non ESPN Plus portion.
I think it's gonna be on both. But with it not being so much other sports going on right now,
No, that's the thing, bro. We got the draft. Everybody gonna be watching the draft, bro.
Man, they put that shit on ESPN too, homie. That shit ain't getting.
That's one of the most watched. That gets so many eyeballs, bro. Trust me.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you leave the draft on regular ESPN, and this fight card will be on ESPN Plus.
And that's a you know what, and that's a thought too. I didn't even think of that. That's a good point. That whole thing. I know that might be a situation where they might run the whole. You might be right. They might run the whole thing on ESPN Plus except for the main event.
No, because
that slot already bought.
Yeah, if you're not gonna cut out the draft to switch to boxing, if your program is the draft for a certain many hours, you're not gonna go away from that. You know what I'm saying? They usually will go away from it for regular Sports Center, and then they'll go back to it. They're not gonna go away from it for a baseball game or.
Yeah, I gotta see how that. Yeah, I guess we need to ask the plug how that's gonna play out. He probably know. Let me see. Jamie Leroy, big shout out to you, family. Say what's up, boys. What you think of the Parker versus Joyce fight and who wins? I think Joyce beats Parker. I'm not a big Parker fan, so I'm definitely being biased with that opinion. But I can break it down to you from a.
Did I just tell you about that shit?
I can break it down. I can break it down to you from a technical standpoint and actually explain why Joyce will win. But I think, I think Joe Joyce will win that fight. What's up?
Oh, bro? I'm sorry, man.
Nah, you good. You good.
The nigga and shit.
He said, "What you think of Parker and Joyce? Who wins?"
I didn't realize Joe Joyce was that much bigger than Parker. I mean,
yeah.
Parker a nice size dude, but goddamn, Joe Joyce is truly the juggernaut when it comes to that size thing. So. I think Parker don't got the strength, and he was hitting Chisora with everything he had and couldn't get him out of there. So I think that the wear down is there. Joyce to get him out of there. They might even stop that fight to me. I see a technical stoppage by the corner because he gonna get damaged. Joyce put hands on you and he put damage on you. So you get the corner looking out, not trying to save Parker from an embarrassing KO.
Yeah, I think Joe Joyce wins that fight. And the thing is, Parker might be the more skilled out the two, but it ain't about that. Like you got that big of a dude constantly coming at you. Keep what you be saying in the Instagram video. Get inside, you gotta pat him down. Inside, you gotta pat him down.
Was in his pockets.
He was in his pockets. Gotta pat him down. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what Joe Joyce would do against Joseph Parker for real, man. YSM, he said, nah, Charlie is better than Joe. I'm not sold on Joey. I'm not sold on Joey neither. I'm not so, but that's one of PBC's like
But
prize
that,
guys, young
but that's
bucks.
what I was gonna say about Sheehy. You want to make sure you're having some guys that kind of touch on each little market. So he's the Toro Gotti for that particular platform that I think they want to mold him sort of to be. You see what I'm saying? So you definitely want to have guys that can reach out to certain markets. That's why I see him being on live television.
I, yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is gonna be interesting to see how they actually play this out. The fight I'm most intrigued by is the Keyshawn fight. I mean, outside of the main event, of course, but and we're gonna get into that in a minute. But that Keyshawn fight is that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot because and the thing that's crazy is that you can look at it really one or two ways. You can look at it like, all right, well, has Bob Arum seen some of the mistakes that he's made in the past, and he's kind of trying to correct them on the fly, or we still haven't heard anything about this lawsuit neither. You know, I'm like, hey, this if you're gonna give some colored fighters some perks, now be a good enough time when you got a racial lawsuit against you. So, I mean, I guess it depends on how you know how you read it and how you look at it. But I think really, um, I think Keyshawn is. I'm not. If you were Keyshawn Davis's manager, would you have taken this fight for him right
If
now?
my plans is to get him within the title picture within 10 fights, for most definitely. Because again, you don't want him to outgrow the opportunity of big fights at a young age. Keeping the shine in the limelight on the platform that he signed to and the promotion that he signed to. So as a manager, you want to take advantage of the surroundings and him. He it's not like you're sending you know what I'm saying, a janitor in there to scramble with the best at the lightweight division. This is
Right.
a respectable. I mean, this dude is a machine, bro. I mean, he built like a young warrior that he is, and you got to take advantage of that. So you want to test him against a guy that has a decent record. So when the fans look at it, we can be like, okay, look what he's overcome early. Certain opportunities should be afforded to him, not just because of the platform. Somewhat based because they fast track Loma, but we kind of know why they fast track Loma. He had about 400 miles on him before he got into the ring with all those amateur fights. So you can't have him in no 15 to 17 fight pro career before he gets title shots. It's too much wear and tear. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing with this youngster. You don't with him, not particularly with the wear and tear, but it's the growth. You see what I'm saying? There's not
Yeah.
a lot of work at 154 on this platform in 2 years. Trust me. This platform has never been known, excuse me, for the 154, 160 division like that. So you want this guy to stay in this 135, try to max him out at 147, and see what shine and what, you know what I'm saying, legacy we can get out of this cat.
And I mean, and you know, Keyshawn is at lightweight. You know, like right now. And I mean, it's actually actually almost half of the fights that's on the card is lightweight fights.
None
So
of these dudes are going to be in this division in 2 years, bro. These
no,
young
I
too fast.
understood. We talking about right now though.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
they growing pups. Like yeah,
yeah.
we definitely get it. I mean, any division a guy starts out in the beginning of their career, normal thinking, you would think they're going to be at least two weight classes above when they really they get 10 tools down in the game. They're going to be at least one or two weight classes up. Very few guys stay in the same division.
I think that goes to more your body frame too. Because if you're a smaller body frame, it's easier to keep your weight regulated. But if you got a big body frame, the mass is the structure, the bones, they're going to ask for that extra padding from your tissue and everything that goes with our bodies.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, you got guys. I mean, like there's very few that stay at the same weight. I mean, until recently, Triple G stayed at 160 for forever. Um, Who else? B Hop
Bro,
stayed
you
at
gotta stay there
160
160
for
forever.
a long time. Uh, who else? Who else stayed the
What's
same weight? Spence. Spence been at 147 his whole career. Yeah, one fight at
10 years?
154.
He 10 in or 8? Put his Spence 8 in?
At least eight. At
Yeah.
least eight.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least
That's
eight.
nice. That's almost a decade. It's a nice
Yeah.
long time. But your boy been at the same weight. You know, shout out my guy, Manuel Tago. This brother been at the same weight for like 15 years, bro.
Hold on. Let me so I watched the video. Go subscribe to Boxing First Vlog if you're not subscribed. So I think it was his last video he dropped. He said that Azuma Nelson and Ike Corte didn't really have really fond thoughts of Manuel Tagu's performance versus Ryan Garcia. So that was my first time hearing about it. Can you kind of touch on that real quick for the people that don't know? Because if I didn't know, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people that didn't know.
The folks thought, Ike Corte spoke on it first based on the article, and then obviously the writer spoke with Azuma Nelson on the follow-up. And he agreed. He thought it was a money grab. And when I broke it down on my video, y'all go take a look at the great work I'm doing on the channel, hitting y'all with that boxing news and hot topics. So tap in with your OG, man. That being said, I was asking those legends to look at it a different way. I get them thinking, okay, this fighter just accepted the phone call and went over there and got a bag. And I'm like, well, who wants to accept the bag and get knocked out to get it? So you're not looking at it as what it was in front of you. He could not be offensively sound and defensively sound fighting a guy two sizes up. So I'm trying to get them and anybody else that looks at this particular issue to say, yo, there's a flip side to it. I get their point. Or it just looked like he picked up the phone on some Nick Italia sort of scenario and just went and accepted a fight, didn't do his best. You know what I'm saying? They could have said the same thing about Nick Italia from whatever part of Africa he's from, but we're not getting that because he don't probably have no Hall of Famers from his region. Not to say that there ain't no great fighters from wherever he's from. But that being said, though, I think it's about the money. These dudes didn't get paid the same. These dudes didn't get the opportunities till late to hit the HBOs and to get on the early, get on the early fight networks like that, on the big time fight networks. So I can see the cap, but it's old dudes being old dudes to me. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't look at, man, this dude you got him fighting an oak tree and he's a little brush. Come on, bro. What you want him to do? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's analyzing it practically. That's not being no homer. Oh, you just a toggle. You just toggle. No, bro. What you want him to do? You saw it, right?
Yeah, it was funny because the last thing I was expecting to hear from out of that video was Tagu. As soon as I seen it, as soon as I heard it, was like, I gotta touch on my guy, man, Tagu. I said, shit. Man, but when I heard it, when I heard what you said, I was like, oh, all right. I was just like, that's newsworthy. So the thing about that situation is the older cats are always gonna critique the newer cats differently because every era is different. You know what I'm saying? Every era is different. So a lot of times with the older cats, first of all, it's prize fighting. So it's supposed to be a money grab. Like let's keep it a bean. Like it's supposed to be a money grab. Like what is he fighting for free? For not only was it a money grab, it was the biggest look he had in his career.
That was the end of where I finished my video at. I said, well, look, bro, y'all act like he been getting these opportunities for the past 3 to 5 years and just showing up to these fights and misrepresenting Ghana. Like, come on, bro, cut the dude a break. He been in the shadows waiting. It took an outfit like mine to throw his name in the mix and we got laughed at. You see what I'm saying? Now, y'all as OGs thinking he might not be on their level as far as fighters. I'm gonna admit that. I don't think he could beat Azuma Nelson at 135 in their primes. I think Azuma Nelson would have walked him down and probably got him out of there. And that's just me knowing Azuma Nelson, growing up watching dudes like him, the Ike Cortez, these sort of guys. Well, obviously Ike too big for him, so that would have never happened. But pound for pound, no, he's not on that level. But he was on a good run and deserved the opportunity. So for them to say it was a money grab, okay, doesn't he deserve that opportunity? Look at the run he's been on. Y'all guys haven't been getting the shine. So now it's a guy that's finally getting the shine. Why not accept what they're offering you and do the best you can? Because I did think he did the best he can. And the best he could do was not get knocked the fuck out. So no credit for that. No credit for that. Zuma Nelson, Ike Cortez, no credit for that, huh? I don't know, bro. I can't call it.
Yeah, what is he supposed to do? Like, not take the fight? Like, of course he's supposed to take the fight. Because against one of the people, whether they want to admit it or not, Ryan Garcia is probably one of the most top 10 most talked about names in the sport, for good or for worse. And it's on a DAZN platform. It's the biggest payday of his career. He probably made more in that fight than he did all his other fights combined. And his name will forever be remembered to some boxing fans. So he did what he was supposed to do. So when I hear statements like that, I'm like, what did you want him to do? Like, what did you want him to do? So I'm like, the only criticism I gave Emmanuel Tagu, I gave him 2 criticisms. I was like, number one, I was like, I wish he would have attempted to mash on the gas at some point during the fight. That was number one. And number two, I wanted for him to really just, he's a smaller dude, but you know how I go. Even if you know the other dude's stronger than you, sometimes you got to send that mental message. Like, yo, like, I'm not moving. I'm not this round. I'm not moving. You know what I'm saying? We going to meet right here. And I wanted one of those two.
I get what you're saying, but with the second one was so hard to do. If there is no meat, that's like you a brick wall and I'm a Fiat, and you want me to somehow push you back or meet you at this particular line and try to hold you. It's not. It's just impossible, bro. You see what I'm saying? It was too much of a physical difference between the two guys for one guy to be offensively sound, to make a commitment to attempt to win the fight. Bro, he couldn't attempt to win the fight because his main goal as a human being is to not get fucking steamrolled.
Yeah, but I asked that out of I'm being consistent. Me personally, I'm being consistent with that. If it's a smaller dude, because somebody's gonna be bigger than the other dude in the ring anyway. Very rarely you see two dudes evenly size with weight.
But Jeff.
But we've been hold on. Listen, I know that's your guy. It's been plenty of fights where guy moving around the ring, and we both watched plenty of fights, and we like, yo, we just want for him to just sit down on something, even if it's for like a minute. I'm not saying the whole fight. Okay. He didn't do it once, though. He didn't do it one time. How
could you sit down? That's
Vlog. Like. But I feel like you only saying that because that's your guy. Who have we watched? Hold on, Vlog. Answer this question for me. And I'm gonna let you go. What fight have we watched or discussed on or off camera where we have not asked the guy to sit down at least once and make a statement during the fight? Like, not one time.
I don't think he did. He was not. I'm being honest. I'm remembering the fight, and I do believe in the later rounds, as Ryan got a bit more tired from the being aggressor and having to come forward and try to catch Tagu, he attempted, bro. But there was such a disadvantage size-wise. I think he realized my best bet is to survive this particular situation I'm in. And I think he was resolved to that after a certain point early in the fight. Because with clothes on and with all the cameras and everybody around, I'm sure he didn't really mentally see that physical size difference. And then with the added weight coming on after weigh-ins and all of that sort of stuff, God damn, he probably got in the ring like, shit, is this the same fucking dude? So I don't know, bro. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. He lost the fight. I'm not arguing that. It was a 12-0 scenario. 15-0 if you really want to be honest. With the knockout.
I am giving him the benefit of the doubt. Listen, we were on your channel. We were on your channel live watching it. I even said it live. I was just like, I seen things going on with Ryan Garcia despite the size and everything else. And I'm like, I just want him to attempt something. Because we watched the fight, right? So take away, I'm not gonna say take away the size or anything, right? What are some of the flaws with Ryan Garcia? The number one flaw I seen, and this is with Ryan Garcia, period. Whenever he punches, his chin is straight in the air. Number two, his head is on the line. Like it's 12:30. It's on the line.
Now I'm gonna give you that, but I also thought I saw progressive things in him. That he saw, okay, I can do this because I have this sort of guy in front of me. You see what I'm saying? And I think he learned from that as far as trying to show his Philly shell to show, we won't call it the Mayweather. You know what I mean? He's the best to ever do it, but it's really the Philly. You know what I mean? So he got better because he was actually leaning and causing Tagu to reach even more. So that was ineffective for Tagu. That overhand left that I was calling for probably would be his most effective, powerful punch. But he couldn't get it home. Why? Because Garcia was doing something I thought was intelligent by giving him a little bit more height, a little bit more length, and using the shoulder. And it just wasn't a shot that could get home for him. So, I mean, I saw something good from Garcia for him not being a great defensive fighter.
Yeah, I'm not, and I'm not, and I highlighted some of the things about Ryan Garcia that I liked in the fight. They were different things than what you just mentioned, but there were some things that he was doing that I was just like, yo, all right, cool. Like that's what's getting him a leg up in this fight. It's just it kind of goes to your point. It was just like it seemed like he kind of just made a business decision, kind of like just midway through the fight. I think he wanted to get him. He wanted to get him. Yeah, he wanted to get him in the back half of the fight. And I think around round 8 or round 9, I think he was pretty much done at that point in terms of making the business decision.
If they would have analyzed it that way, them OGs, Ike Cortez, who is a true vet, knowledgeable guy, and Azuma Nelson, if they would have analyzed it and said, yo, our guy, I think he didn't try because he probably felt like that it wasn't just going to be there for him, so he didn't try.
Do you feel like that's what they were trying to say? I didn't read the article.
No, they didn't say that. They thought it was all about the money because it seemed as though the celebration wasn't about him getting the opportunity the way we analyzed it when you showed me the clip. It was more about this dude actually coming home with a fucking bag. You see what I'm saying? That was, I think, and that might have took, original boxing fans from Africa was about the boxer, not about like the money that they were making when Azuma and Ike Cortez fought. But now it was probably like, yo, our guy coming home, he just got paid. We got to go show him love. So it could have been that too. So they could be right. That's why I said maybe they are right, though, in the video. But you still got to look at it from a flip side. Anyway, man, the folks is here to talk about Valdez and Shakur. We don't want to hold y'all up too much.
Yeah, let me get these comments real quick. Nathan Carey in the building said, hi, guys. Where's Shane today? To be honest with you, bro, I have no clue where Shane is today. But big shout out to him. My guy, King Louie in the building said, salute family. Good to see you, vlog. That's my guy right there, man. King Louie, man.
Shout out, King.
King definitely one of them ones, one of them day ones for sure. Burt Wood in the building. Big shout out to Burt Wood. He said Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker confirmed. Yeah, we got a date on that. We got a date on that.
I heard June. Could be off. I heard a couple by June turn into another big month. Cause June is
Beterbiev too, ain't it?
Maxao and Ray
Ray
Vargas.
Vargas.
That's gonna be a scrap. That's gonna be a scrap.
Don't
Don't sleep on Ray because he coming up. Don't sleep on him.
Yeah. And then we got Beterbiev and Joe Smith. That's going down in June too, right?
June what 21st or something like that. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna be
these
in
next few months is lining up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be in New York for that one.
Magnifico.
I think I'm gonna be in New York. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be in New York.
I'm trying to get out the Gila River, man. I'm trying to get out to the Indian Res and get up there and see Lemieux.
I gotta get at Shane. Yeah, I gotta get at Shane too because he said he was gonna put that credential in. No, we literally talked about it yesterday on camera, and he said
I know Elda hooked me up with a promoter from out this way too, so I was supposed to link up with her. I'm gonna try to link up with her sometime this week and chat with her. But I just want to just pay for it anyway. I might me and wifey grab the room for the weekend, and you know what I mean, because they really spritzed it up out that way a little bit. Got it looking like Reno or something like that. So
if you gotta connect with the direct promoter of the show or something,
I don't know that. I said it's a promoter out this way.
A promoter out that way. Okay, all right, fair enough.
That's why I'll just pay for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a little OT right now just so I can smoke like that.
I cut a deal with you. If Shane don't put it in by tomorrow, I'm gonna put it in myself. So either way, you're gonna get a yes or no regardless. If he don't put it in by tomorrow, I'm gonna put it in myself. I know how to put them in. Andre Southgate says salute all here listening. Big shout out to you, family. My guy Michael Johnson in the building said he don't keep his hands up. I'm assuming you're talking about Ryan Garcia. No, he doesn't keep his hands up. The only reason he got away with that,
I think he fights towards competition, bro.
And another thing is with Ryan Garcia, he was able to get away with that with Tagu because of the height. Because he was technically the way he was playing defense against Tagu is not the correct way to be playing defense. Like you're not supposed to be leaning back with your chin straight up and you trying to block it, deflect shots with your shoulder. That's not Philly shell. I don't know what that is, but it worked though.
But he technically was doing what he could because he had his hand home, so he wasn't eating a lot of leather. And plus, when you're making a shorter guy reach that much more, is less steam on it.
Yeah, and Tagu was making himself about 4 or 5 inches shorter than what he actually is. So he was coming from
because he had to be defensively sound. So
I'm not disputing that at all. Anyway, I'm not disputing that at all.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I ain't disputing that, bro. You know I ain't disputing
Valdez and Shakur, man. I know the
folks. So Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez 30-0. Shakur Stevenson 17-0. We got unification. This is Shane's favorite topic, unification. And this is gonna be
quick note for the folks. Your boy Ugas, he had put up a tweet, and I told him, I said, man, I see you as the next bridge for the Cuban boxers. The lane is open for you to be that guy, bro. Remember we talked on that, bro, and I think he took that to heart, bro, because he in his tweet he was talking about wanting to help the next generation of fighters, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's your lane, bro. Since you mentioning it, like, don't come back and fight no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to see you get hurt or nothing like that. So,
I don't. If he jumps back in the ring, cool. But if he doesn't, that's a way to cap your career off. You literally went Sean Porter, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence, and you was in unification. That's a good way to go out if he's going to go out that way. I think he's going to come back, but that's a good way to go out. And I'm pretty sure he, hopefully, he stacked his bread up. Got a nice young lady. Young lady friend. You know what I'm saying? But they, lady friends.
They pricey.
They a little pricey. They a little pricey.
He got to start, spanning off. These dudes gonna need management. Like I said, they're gonna need housing connections. It's a bag out there for you, bro.
It's a definite bag out there for you, man. You can be
in on all sides, bro. Trainer, manager,
You know who I? You
A
know who I?
landlord. You know what I'm saying?
You said the landlord. Yeah, man. I mean, he could be a manager for a lot of those, a lot of those guys, and then him having the Al Heyman hookup, he can be
That's what I said. You
kind
got
of,
that.
yeah.
When you're in
Yeah,
a
for sure.
connected situation, you gotta switch your mode up.
You gotta switch your hustles up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You gotta
Gotta
have
switch
four
your hustles
hustles
up.
for every season, baby. You did.
Absolutely, absolutely. And all the rich people got 8, 9, 10 ways to get it. You know what I'm saying? They don't just get it one way, man. But this is a premier fight this weekend, man. And we just having a good year in general in regards to just boxing. It's beautiful to see. Just of course, I got some highlights queued up. But just I guess while I get them together, like bro, just give us your initial thoughts on the fight, just from a technical breakdown.
Well, while you doing that, we're gonna keep the technical stuff. Let me go while you queue up because we can always tap into the technicals as the films is up and everything, just to coincide with what we're saying. I want to take a look at it from the gambling side, bro. I don't like the numbers for Shakur Stevenson. I think it's disrespectful to his natural skills. And when you a odds maker, bro, you gotta really know the sport. You gotta know the ins and outs of these teams, the elite stars, these sort of things like that. So even with a boxer, judging him to another boxer, you gotta gauge what style is better, what fighter is that much better than the other. And you tell me Shakur Stevens is only $200 better on a natural money line. Just take the positive and negative away. You saying minus 500 for Shakur Stevenson plus 325. That's a 200. That's a $175 difference. He's way bigger, way bigger. I know it turns over more when you actually putting money down to what you could win and lose and blah blah blah. But he's $1,000 money line to me.
What's
I
whoa. Well, hold on. What's the official line? What's
official
the official
line
line?
is hovering around 550. Minus
So
550.
Oscar Valdez is plus 550.
No, Oscar Valdez is plus 325. Minus 550
Shakur
for
for
Stevens.
Shakur. So you're
Yeah,
saying
Shakur is that much better as a fighter. You're laying odds. You're judging based on skill to skill, accomplishment to accomplishment. You see what I'm saying? You also got to factor in that this dude just tested dirty. So you judging that to say, okay, he's even that much less a favorite because we know he had to be have some support to be wherever he was at in these certain fights that he was winning or doing good or whatever he was doing. Blah, blah, blah. Burchell, any of these other fights. You see what I'm saying? So as an odds maker, you got to even lift up Shakur even more because this guy drops down for being, I don't want to say a cheat, but having questionable testing issues. So you judging that, you laying money lines. You come on, bro. These dudes.
so I'm a challenge that. Yeah, I'm a challenge that with a question. So now we were on this very channel and we debated that Shakur odds were too big in a Jamel fight. And Jamel was like Shakur was like a minus like 925 in that fight. So are you saying that Oscar Valdez should have worse odds than he's more of a mismatch than Jamel was?
That my odds had nothing to do with Oscar Valdez. I never bought in Oscar Valdez when I gave reasons why Shakur Stevens, just for those reasons alone, Shakur Stevenson should be better. Now you seen what he did because you bet based on the past too. We bet what you just showed me gives me a reason to bet against you or bet for you. You just dog walk a solid champion at the time. Now you're going up against a guy who just came off a questionable fight and got popped in that fight and his face got turned into hamburger meat. They threw him the victory. Why? Because they knew this quote unquote mega fight, I guess you want to call it, was on the line. There would have been too late of a build up to try to get Knession and Shakur to be a big fight. You see what I'm saying? So they threw Valdez that fight. You as an odds maker know all of this. This doesn't factor into your numbers. Come on, bro.
All right. So this for the people, and I have to put this disclaimer out there for the people that may not be sports bettors like Boxing First Vlog and myself. So this discussion is for quote unquote sports betting purposes only. All right, we're not talking actual like X's and O's. I don't have a problem with the premise. I actually agree with a lot of what you're saying. My only question is, you do realize a minus 1,000 is 10-1 odds, correct?
So you're going to tell me, based on the factors I just pointed out, what we just seen from both fighters, this doesn't look like a 10-1 fight?
No.
Wow. So the work that Robson Consencio did to Oscar Valdez, along with the testing issues, how he's going to come into this fight mentally, him being the older fighter, bro, it's a lot of reasons why you got to say this dude is a much bigger favorite. And he's younger.
Again, it's not. I'm not debating. I'm not debating that. Me personally, would you say it was minus what, 525?
Around there, hovering 550.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I probably would have went maybe no. I would say minus. I would say me personally, I would say like 600, 650. So that's a little lower than what I would have put it. But he's not. But there's nothing. But there's nothing about. There's nothing about when you look at Shakur Stevenson and you look at Oscar Valdez. It doesn't matter how you look at it. There's no way I see 10-1. There's just no way I see 10-1. We can agree. We can agree on a number between the 5 and the 1,000. But when I look at Oscar Valdez and I look at Shakur Stevenson, I just don't see 10-1.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another reason. I'm gonna give you another reason why, based on what eyesight. This is the eyesight test. This is on my young Shane VP Shane mode. Eyesight told me the best Valdez that we saw was a Burchell fight. The very best Valdez we saw. We talking counter punching, pivot, slide, power off the back foot, sometimes coming forward, eating some shots. Look at who you were fighting that night, my dude. You were fighting a dude that wasn't faster than a dead pigeon. So come on, bro. You showed me what you did on your best night. I respect it. It was solid. That guy that you did that against is not Shakur Stevenson.
Agreed.
Even more reason why Shakur Stevenson is a bigger favorite.
Bro, it's no way a unification fight is 10-1.
I never said it should be. I'm speaking.
No, you said you said it should be 1,000. You said it should be 1,000.
And me, this is me. You know, I think outside the box.
I know you thinking outside.
I'm gonna tax you. I'm taxing you for that Shakur Stevenson victory because it's a guaranteed victory. It's guaranteed.
What's guaranteed?
In a fair fight, guaranteed victory is going to go to Shakur Stevenson in this. No X's and O's. None of that. We gonna break it down, but me just speaking on some fan shit. I don't see a way that Valdez can win this fucking fight, bro.
I think Shakur is gonna win the fight.
Thank you. He's gonna. So it should cost. So for the odds maker, it should cost people that's betting. Am I correct?
Not 10-1 though, bro. Like that 10-1 is crazy. 10-1 is crazy, bro. I'm cool with where they got it now. 600, 650. I'll even go even minus 700 if you want to go that far.
I'll say on the low end. On the low high end, I'll bring it down from 1,000 and I'll just say 850.
I'm even okay with that if they that confident in Shakur.
I'm that. And as an odds maker,
listen,
You got to be confident on your money lines. You can't be trying to, like, they're trying to hover. So just in case, like, come on, bro.
But
Like, for
usually,
score wins, we're not paying out that much because we haven't taken in that much to have to pay out that much.
the reason I'm challenged. Now you brought it down to 850, which is more manageable. The reason I was challenging you 10-1 is because there's been fights that Floyd's been in where it's going to be a clear ass whipping, and he wasn't 10-1. So that's why I was challenging it based off of prior history with guys that are not knockout punchers. That's the angle that I was going with it. So it's not necessarily I'm thinking Oscar Valdez is a 50-50 fight or anything like that. I was challenging the 1,000. That's all I was challenging. But a lot of the stuff that you're saying is I agree with it. I agree. I agree with a lot of it. It's a lot of questions with Valdez. So, but the thing is, I actually think the casinos are actually getting off pretty easy with the plus 325. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I'm like, those odds are not big enough for me to take Valdez. Like they would have to be like plus like 500 or 600 for me to take him. Like I'm not taking him at plus 325. I'd rather just not bet the fight. You know what I mean? I'd rather just not bet the fight. Andre Southgate, he said, I think Joyce versus Parker is in July. Okay. Fair enough. Brendan Smith, what's going on? I ain't seen you in a while, player. What's going on? He said, do not be surprised if Valdez wins. So I'm gonna respond to that comment with a question. How does Oscar Valdez win this fight? And Brendan, I know you ain't been in here in a while, but I know you like to think outside the box, like my man on the other side of the screen does. So I would like for you to actually explain how does Oscar Valdez win this fight against Shakur? Because I only can see one way he wins this fight, and I'll explain that later. But I only see one way he wins this fight. Andre Southgate, yeah, I'm not writing Valdez off as well. Valdez has power for sure. Valdez says he wants to make it into a technical fight. He may be bluffing. I don't think. See, that's the thing, Andre. Like Valdez can't fight one type of fight. Like Shakur is too good for that. Like he's gonna have to mix it up. There's gonna be times where he's gonna have to box and make Shakur miss. There's gonna be times where he's gonna have to sit in there and go dig with him. He might have to throw with him sometimes. So he can't just fight one fight. He can't go in there looking for a war all 12 rounds because he's gonna lose that. He can't go in there looking for a technical fight all 12 rounds. He's gonna lose that. He's gonna have to mix it up. And I'm just gonna let the cat out the bag now. Only way I see Oscar Valdez winning this fight is unless he hits Shakur with something big within the first 4 rounds, and Shakur makes a business decision, kind of like how my man Chris Colbert made. That's the only way I see Oscar Valdez winning this fight. That's the only way I see him winning this fight because I'm like he's not the more skilled fighter. And the thing that makes Shakur so good is that he's defensively sound and he don't do a lot of moving out of range. He does a lot of his moving in range, and that's why he looks so good against Jamel. Is because Jamel was trying to get out of way of shots, and he never had a chance to really breathe because he was always in the target area. He was always in the target area. So that's the only way I see Valdez winning. Because if he don't get Shakur's attention within the first 4 rounds, you can chalk it. You can chalk it, and you better hope that Oscar Valdez don't get tired in this fight either. I can see Oscar Valdez getting stopped in this fight, round 9, 10. I don't know if that's my official prediction, but that's my boxing eye tells me 9 or 10. Oscar Valdez could get stopped, but he got a 6 round window to change my mind during the fight. He got a 6 round window. That's it. If he don't get Shakur's attention by then, the skills is gonna pay the bills at the end of the day. What you got, Vlog?
My concern for Valdez may not be per se being KO early. It's actually taking damage, bro. Because if you let a guy like Canseco, who's a strong puncher, but not very precise and very accurate, touch you up, what is a dude like Shakur Stevenson going to do to you? a very smart guy. I definitely think Shakur Stevenson IQ is better than Robinson Concesio. So I think I'm worried about damage. That's that. I mean, I gotta go off what you just showed me. So damage to me, because you look what he did to Jamel Herring. It's a lot of damage, bro. So we thinking corner stoppage. I'm
Me
thinking corner
personally,
stoppage, bro.
me
I'm
personally,
thinking
me
corner
personally,
stoppage.
me personally, yes, I'm thinking corner stoppage, for sure. But I'm gonna run these highlights in the background while we continue to talk, and the highlights are courtesy of Boxing Tastic. Big shout out to Boxing Tastic. Tastic. Um, Give me a second. We gonna
Shout out to Crown, sipping on something before I gotta go to work.
yeah, for sure, definitely. Get out of that real quick. Share this real quick.
Yeah, but just speaking hypothetically, what can Valdez do? I think Valdez will have to be defensively sound, be a single puncher, and be strong with his punches.
Right.
Try to stab to the body, get in, tie up, and dirty box. I mean, maybe this fight could get stopped on the foul situation because Valdez is probably got a lot of pent up energy. People, still question him, blah blah blah. The way he was talking in their episode of whatever they wanted to call it. I forget the title of the show, but you know how they do the hypes up for the main event fights.
Yeah.
And Blood, Sweat, and Tears. That was the name of it.
Yeah.
He was saying like, oh, it bothered him when it was going into the Concesio fight. I said, well, bro, ain't nothing changed since that fight. So you still in that same mindset.
Yeah.
You're troubled in because you got the belts. You got belts on the line in this one. You got a dude that you kind of got a little grudge match with going on. I guess just due to the platform, so to speak, not due to like crossing paths in gyms or anything like that. So I think it's just due to the platform and who's the biggest star, blah, blah, blah. So they both been spitting each other's names out their mouth. Psychologically, he has a lot on his plate. You want to please Canelo. You want to please the trainer of the year and Eddie Reynoso. Shout out to that Reynoso pack. You know what I'm saying? I think he got a lot on his shoulders, bro. And then he might want to prove something to himself. So would he try too much? I think he could. I think he could open up too early, get stopped, get cut early. They stop it in the corner, do the damage. I don't know, bro. It's so many scenarios. But if you really wanted to analyze, I'm trying to be honest with this dude. How can you beat Shakur Stevenson? Try beating to the punch. Be first. Be consistent with your volume. Because if you're consistent with your volume, it's hard for a youngster like him to set and time you. Because it's just so much coming. It's like trying to get in that double Dutch jump rope thing. And if you don't know how to do that and you ain't prepared for that, you see what I'm saying? Like, you want to give him something different than what's normally been on tape. And what we seen on tape from you is some boxing, some decent boxing. I think he looked good physically in the Burchell fight. I thought he would have been able to make the distance or anything like that. But I didn't think he looked too tired in the Canseco fight. I thought he was mentally drained. I didn't think he was physically drained in that Robson fight. So how you beat this youngster, man, you got to be first. You see how these dudes are waiting and accepting what's coming? Like, instead of anticipating him and going first, maybe feinting attack and stepping off to the side. Because what Shakur does is try to hit you first. So if you feint and make him react, but your reaction isn't to throw and trade with him, your reaction is to step off to the side. Those are points where the singles that I was talking about for Valdez could start to count. You still defensively sound, you stepping out on an angle, bang, you catch him over the top while he trying to attack. He got to reset, you catch him again, step around, tie up, kill all the action. Looking good on the judges' scorecards as far as who's controlling the fight at times. So there's little subtle ways, but can you keep that up for 12 rounds? What I just mentioned might be hard to do for Valdez, man.
Um, no, I mean, well said. And I've been watching these highlights as you were talking. If you pull up any highlights of Shakur Stevenson, I would say 85 to 90% of the time, he has his foot where it's supposed to be. He has his right foot on the outside of the opponent's foot. And he has this thing where he does this hop step to get his foot outside the other guy's foot, and then he goes to work. And that's something that he's very, very good at. And the elite southpaws do that. They'll hop and make that hop step, gets their foot outside the other guy's foot. Another person is not known for any speed, but does that hop step very well is Luis Ortiz. And that's what made him tough for years, because that little hop step is what got him, a lot of his victories. And that's why I gave Wilder so much credit. And I said he has more boxing IQ than people give him credit for, because he actually started throwing that little baby check hook, just the centering, so he would stop that hop step to get his foot outside of his. And that's something that Valdez is going to have to do. He technically he's going to have to center Shakur up, get him from doing that hop step, because once he does that hop step,
go back real quick.
I got you.
Right about 10, 15 seconds.
Okay.
Maybe 20 tops.
Okay.
And I want you to stop it. Let it run. Let it run. I think a little bit back further.
Further? All right.
It was when Shakur was coming forward, and it's right when it was a real quick freeze frame. Keep going a little bit. And I wanted to show something. Just to knock down all that. It was probably a little bit further back then.
You may go back further.
Anyway, there was a point in this clip where the bull wasn't quite on the ropes. So you know where you at in the ring. Valdez IQ, I'm going to give him intelligence for being a boxer. He knows, okay, I'm being pressured by the stronger fighter. When I told you, remember points where you got to beat him to the punch? Those are those certain points where you know Shakur's in stalk mode. He's getting to his range. You got to beat him right at that point to give yourself those minute opportunities to stay in this fight. And it's hard to show you because I can't control the video, but there was a little clip in there where the range and everything was perfect. Right here. Stop. You see, and dude's hurt, but there are points where Shakur will be doing that and Valdez won't be hurt. But those will be the opportunities for Valdez to get
I just
off.
ran it back, so you get to show it again. You're talking right here, basically, coming up.
Yeah, like before you're hurt, but when you're getting pressure. Like right now, before Shakur sets to get you, right here, step into him and give it to him. You see what I mean? You're backpedaling defensively, but there's opportunities in these split-second time zones for guys that have some punching power, like Valdez. He got a little bit of starch. He got rid of Bicho. I'm not even going to think that he was juiced. That was a world title fight, so all the testing should have been above board. So, hopefully everything came out square biz for him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe he thought because he was the champion, he was going to be able to get away with something. You know what I mean? I don't know, but, tea, coffee, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But point being, that's what I mean. It's minute times in boxing. You have to take advantage of the position of a guy that's technically better than you. You see what I'm saying? You gotta beat him to that moment, even though he's better.
Hey, vlog, I want to run something back real quick. I'm gonna run it back about a minute. I'm gonna run it back right here.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I want you to look at.
I want you to tell me in the chat.
A vlog. Look at these highlights from this point going forward. and you tell me you see a combination where his foot is not on the outside of the other guy's
Oh, I
foot,
see what you talking about. I see what you
like
talking
say
about.
outside. You see that hop step? You
Yeah,
see that hop step? He most of this highlight is that hop step, and then he never forgets the body. That's what makes him so difficult to handle.
but that's my point. He's definitely pressuring guys that I wouldn't say are challenging him to that level. So we still got to figure that out from Stevenson. This is a fight that Valdez wanted. Valdez is looking forward to. I'm sure he knows Stevenson's abilities. These guys have elite camps that they're involved with. So we have to give Valdez's camp the ability to recognize what you just saw, what what I'm saying, and find the game plan. And to me, I think the game plan is to not battle the foot position. You know what I'm saying? Let him win all of that. Let him think he's dominating all the natural aspects of the fight game. We win the moments in the fight. We win the exchanges, being the last to punch. You see what I'm saying? Doing more of the old school style stuff, making it more of a gritty fight. Head up under his chin, pushing him back, swinging over the top, not per se rabbit punching, but just protective over the top punches and landing to the top of the dome, side of the face type of shots that frustrate pretty boxers like Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Not sleek foot pretty boxers, but just coming forward strong punches, you know what I mean, the way he is. But he can be sleek foot. He can move if he has to. You know what I'm saying? He did good against Nikitaya with the way he backed out, counterpunched properly. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he sat down on anything because he wasn't sure if he was going to get into that exchange.
Let me point out just a couple things that I'm seeing just in these highlights, and of course, anybody put a highlight package together is the person's best work. We get that. We understand that. Number one,
let me say this before you go, but in these highlights is where you have to find the opportunities for fighters that are better than these guys that are getting knocked out. That's all I'm gonna say. Shoot your shot, Jeff.
well, the thing about this, right, is and this is Oscar Valdez that we're showing now. The thing about the Shakur highlights, matter of fact, let me stop this real quick. When you watch Shakur fight, the majority of the guys that he's in the ring with, they let him get 3, 4, 5 punches off, no response. That's number one. Number two, nobody's actually made a conscious effort to get their foot outside of Shakur's foot in the fights. That's number two. Number three, you don't ever see anybody really sit down on anything with Shakur either because he is killing a body. So Oscar Valdez is going to have to do a couple things in this fight, and they're things that I haven't seen him do too often. Number one, I haven't seen him actually focus on winning a battle with a footwork. I haven't seen that. So that's something.
I gotta counter you with that. His footwork was what was getting him into the power shots against Pachel. So
Pachel is horrible.
Again, I can only give him credit for what he showed us. The footwork was good. Doesn't mean I said the competition was elite that he did it against. That's all I said.
That's it. Pachel, I'm telling you, he got a ticker on his forehead to say "hit me." It don't take that much footwork to get him, get him lined up. Now, Oscar Valdez was good enough to line him up. You know what I'm saying? But his footwork's going to have to be on a different level. It's going to have to be top priority for him. And I've never seen him fight anybody, and the footwork is top priority.
But in defense of Oscar Valdez, what you're asking, we do know he has that because he showed ability to get away from Consencio and stop exchanging in that fight at a certain point. You see what I'm saying?
Was that skill or more survival?
Intelligence, IQ. Okay, I'm exchanging with this guy. I'm not winning that. Let me use what I do have to my advantage, which is my legs. So I'm saying he has legs. That's basically what I'm saying. He has legs. So
yeah, he has legs.
can he do something with him? That's I'm
Can he do
trying to
something
help
with it?
him.
Right. Yeah, can he do something with him? Like
This
he's
is
not
not a
fleet of
Bash
foot.
Valdez show.
Not
It's
at
not.
all. Not at all.
We talk boxing. We talking. So I'm trying to talk it from a Valdez angle too.
Yeah, he's not fleet of foot. He's one of those guys. Like he got wheels. He don't have the best wheels in the world, but he got wheels. So what can he do with them? That's number one. Because if he don't win the battle of the footwork against Shakur, he's losing this fight. He's gonna lose bad. And that's why a lot of people think Shakur is gonna win this fight, was because he's gonna be in prime position to land shots just off of the footwork alone. That's number one. Number two, Oscar Valdez, how often are you going to sit there and trade with Shakur? Like, he's going to have to pick his spots, and he's going to stand there, and he's going to let Shakur know, and it's more of a mental battle.
Can I
Go
can I
ahead.
ask you a question real quick?
Mhm.
I'm just back to the footwork. And again, we back and forth. This ain't. I already know. I think Shakur gonna win. He gonna dog walk him. But you got to be honest when you analyze a boxing. That's all I'm doing. So I'm saying, will Shakur's footwork be that effective going backwards? So if Oscar Valdez can find him somehow in the pressure mode of a fight, will this superior footwork that you witnessed from Shakur and that you brought up, you pointed out, that's your argument for Shakur in this particular video. So I think will that be that important going backwards,
Well,
or
that's the
will that be an
thing.
advantage going backwards?
Well, that's the second thing that I think Oscar needs to do is get Shakur backing up. But I've never seen Shakur back up unwillingly. So that's something. That's the second thing that Oscar Valdez is going to have to accomplish. Because if he can't, because if he has Shakur on the back foot, then more than likely you're going to be able to get your foot where your foot needs to be. So he is going to have to draw a line in the sand and kind of establish that early. That's going to come with a price, but he's going to have to establish that early if he plans on winning this fight. And I think the third thing, like I said, the thing with Shakur is he's trained to block the traditional shot. So if you're gonna hit Shakur with something clean, it's gonna be during an exchange and you just beat him to the punch, or you catching him with some or unorthodox type shot that he don't see coming. It's kind
I'm
of
gonna
like
tell you
a
the shot.
Chino Maidana type
I'm gonna tell you the shot.
shot. Go ahead.
It's the shot that's just been prevalent in the sport here of late. Actually, it's that uppercut. He does a lot of dipping when he's in stalk mode. When he's going forward and he's trying to find that range and line up that next combo, he's open for an uppercut. He's open for an uppercut if you can get inside of him, because he does fight straight up and down somewhat his own right. He moves his head off the line periodically if he's in defensive mode, but I think he's a traditional straight up and down sort of guy too. He just uses his speed and we don't notice it as much. But I saw it a little bit against the Nicatalia fight where he fought cautiously, so you seen kind of some of the quirkiness that maybe somebody like Valdez could take advantage of.
Yeah, I think Valdez need to. I think the lead left hook. I think the lead left hook is serving well in this fight. And the lead left hook is mainly to, of course, you want to land it, but even if you don't land it, if you throw in lead left hooks, it stops Shakur from that hop step that he does to get the foot advantage. So if you're throwing a lot of lead left hooks, you can make them short, you can make them long, however you want to do it. You just want to keep Shakur centered. That's another key in this fight, because if you got him flowing to his right, if he's flowing to his right, he's going to beat Valdez to the punch every single time. He's going to beat him to the punch every single time. And he's one of the few guys in the sport that actually make sure that everything is lined up correctly before he start firing off. So he gonna make sure his foot is outside of yours. He gonna make sure he at the right distance, and he gonna make sure he at the right angle, and then he goes. And that's why Shakur is so efficient when he
Now, I
fights.
noticed when you said that, he makes sure everything is proper. Now, remember, let's go back to what I said. even with what you just said, there's still that split second that somebody can get on you while you trying to line everything up.
Yeah,
You
no,
know what I mean?
that's
So
facts, man, and that's boxing. That's boxing. It's
yeah,
going to be
that's what
up
I'm
to
saying. The
Valdez.
Rainbow, if you good, my dude, and you coming off trainer of the year scenario, I need that about you this time. I need you finding those moments, showing your fighter when those moments are based on this dude's tendencies. Tendencies are, it's just what it is, bro. It's just like your shadow. Your shadow is your shadow. So what he does in the boxing ring is what Shakur Stevenson does. I'm sure you can twerk your little game and add something new and change things up for the opponent that you're fighting. But with this guy, I don't think he's going to do that for Valdez. They're not. I don't think they're adding anything. They're just trying to keep everything fine-tuned, stay in shape, keep the speed at the prime level, don't take no wear and tear in sparring, and they looking to go to work. So only thing Valdez can do, like I was saying, man, you got to find the moments and beat them to the moments. They're not going to be every moment. So when you do it, you got to steal the show when you do it. Be last to do it. Do it at the second part of the round. You know what I mean? Do it early in the round and then do a tie-up round. You know what I mean? You'd already worked early, so how can you take the round from him? He's now allowing Stevenson to do anything, so he can win around that way. It's different ways, man, that Valdez could try to make a squab of it. And he a tough guy, so it ain't like he gonna take the first shot from Stevenson and fold like paper mache. So I don't think he's gonna get his wheels blown off. It's
Yeah,
not gonna be a Zapata Vargas sort of scenario.
yeah. Um, and that's another thing that I'm looking for as well. And I know people are saying like Oscar Valdez, what's going to happen if he lands a shot on Shakur? How is Shakur going to respond? But I think for Shakur, it's very important for Shakur to get Oscar Valdez respect early too, because the one thing about Oscar Valdez, if he and I'm talking pre-Burchell, if he knows early in the fight that you can't hurt him, he turns into a little tank. And all that stuff about Shakur going forward and stalking and all that other stuff, all that is out the window. So you're gonna know within the first couple rounds of this fight how it's gonna go. Because if Shakur is cracking like that and getting Valdez's attention and everything that I mentioned in terms of the footwork and everything else is going to come into play, and he's eventually going to walk Valdez down. If
First
that's
30
not the
seconds.
case,
First 30 seconds.
I'm gonna go a little longer than that. I'm gonna
Because
say
look,
probably.
because in the first 30 seconds, you're gonna find out. Again, this is not a feel out. This is not two dudes that don't know each other. They're on the same platform. They've been calling each other out. So that sort of mano a mano-ness is gonna come out. So I think somebody's gonna want to take the reins, so to speak, and that'll tell me who's gonna play what position throughout the fight. Like
Yeah,
Shakur, to me, Shakur could be like, "Yo, I'll play the boxer. I could beat this dude at that game." He might want to do that. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? We don't. When you're as good as he is, he can do it so many different ways. He doesn't have to be this come forward, pound you down sort of guy. He's a guy that can beat you off the back foot, make you look stupid. You see what I'm saying? So if he allows that to happen, that could be that style fight that we see. If he's the one that's making sure he takes the center, that might be Valdez having to play the back foot, doing the pivot game, that sort of thing. So I think we'll find out. Say 45 seconds.
yeah. I'll probably say probably within the first. I'm gonna say probably within the first 3 rounds. I don't think it's gonna pop off that quick. But
Not pop,
somebody's gonna have not
no,
pop off. But I
yeah.
know what you're saying though. I know what you're saying. Like I think by round 3 or 4, it should be fully established who's going to play what role in this fight, and then you can make a clear determination at that point. I would say probably by round 3, you
But
can make
that's
that
my
determination.
point. That's my point. By those rounds, you're already forced into your position by your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said it's going to happen earlier. So then by those rounds, we'll start knowing how to judge what positions these dudes is fighting from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Shakur got enough pop to get Oscar Valdez attention. And if he does, then it's gonna be that fight gonna look a lot like the Heron fight. But if
You ain't
Oscar
show that
Valdez,
Valdez works.
yeah, if Valdez is running through if Valdez is actually running through Shakur's shots and they're not really affecting him, Shakur's gonna have a problem. He's gonna have a problem, for sure. Let's run through these Valdez highlights.
Because you got to, in that particular one we watching, he was on the back foot and did that damage. You know what I'm saying? You can make it look like he was stalking this big dude, this taller dude down. No, he made dude run back all the way across the ring by fighting and throwing power off the back foot. So we're going to find out what sort of fighter we'll get from Valdez.
Yeah, and when Valdez, when he wants to sit down on his shots, he really sits down on his shots. And Valdez, and for as much as we say about Valdez been in them trenches. Valdez been in them trenches, man. It's been some fights where he done had some difficulties, but he got through them. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, he don't look like he throw the best uppercut though, but he was a little younger in this highlight. So
yeah, these are definitely complete highlights from his whole career. So, um, but I mean Valdez is, I mean, he's a talented fighter, man. Like he's
jab
a
is
talented
important.
fighter,
That Valdez jab is important too.
and you see that lead left hook he throwing too. He gonna need
You
that. You see
you
that
got
lead
you.
left hook?
Oh yeah, he's got it. That's what I'm saying. Either you want him to think it's the jab, and you throw that
Yeah,
lead
it's
left
the
hook.
left hook
So
exactly,
you got
exactly.
it. You have to use the jab to even set up the left hook because you
Yeah,
don't. You want him thinking that that's just the jab. You know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be right here. Boom, it's the left hook, and you ain't ready for it.
and you have to get Shakur thinking.
Man,
Like you have to get
hey,
him thinking.
credit. This boy is a nasty counter puncher, bro.
Yeah, you have
He
to because
nasty.
but you see
So
he's countering with the left hook, which is what you want to do against Shakur because that's his lead right hand. So that you want to come with that left hook over the top. You being a orthodox fighter, you want to come with that left hook over the
that right
top,
hand, nasty.
bro. He throws actually watching these highlights. He throws a lot more lead left hooks than I thought. And I gotta watch his more recent fights to see if he's still doing that. But you see everything.
Yeah, he threw the left hook against Burchell. Was killing Burchell with that left hook, especially on the
Yeah,
step back.
yeah.
It wasn't a check left hook. He did it, I think, a couple times or maybe twice in that fight. But I know on in general, he was just stepping back and throwing the left hook as Burchell was coming in. So it wasn't a quote unquote traditional check left hook because we like to spin off when you throwing a left hook and to complete the check. But
Yeah,
this new era, they call any left hook a check left hook. But he was doing that to Burchell, and in per se could be a lead left hook, but almost a counter to Burchell's forward coming action, and he was catching him nasty with it. But to me, to set that up against Shakur, you're going to have to throw that jab. The jab is going to be something that's going to get Shakur thinking, okay, the jab coming, I can be over here or I can step this
mm,
way. Okay, if I step that way, oh shit, here come the left hook because I thought
yeah.
it
And
was going to be.
the jab can center the jab can center
Yeah, you
Shakur
see
as
him throwing
well.
them uppercuts. It'll
Yeah,
be a good punch for this fight, but again,
yeah.
looking at him throw it, he's not very good with it.
It's not it's not his uppercut is with a wind up, and you're not gonna catch Shakur with that.
Yeah,
You're not
that's
gonna
why I
catch
said
Shakur
that
with that.
the
Yeah.
way from what I seen from Shakur, I think is a punch at the right time can be used to with some power on it to get his attention. You know what I mean? You got to find a punch to get his attention.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Valdez can crack. Like he can crack. We all know about the whole testing situation and all that, but a lot of his career says he can crack. And we gonna see what I don't want to say this fight comes down to who can take who shot better because Shakur has too much skills for that. But I do want to see how good shot.
Going backward off the back
yeah,
foot.
I want to see
If you
how
punch
Valdez.
like that, that's natural power.
Yeah, he got.
You
Yeah, he can
he
crack,
wasn't
man.
always with Reynoso.
Yeah,
So
he can crack. That's why I said that.
To the finest juices.
Yeah,
So a
he can
lot of
crack.
this is natural power.
Yeah, he can crack. He can crack, no doubt about it. He can crack. And that was a great point too, man. He ain't been with Reynoso his whole career, man. So he been doing this for a minute. He been doing this
But
for
to
a minute.
me, that's what I'm saying. To me, when I spoke on it earlier, it tells me Reynoso is really next level. If they can devise a game plan against a Zab Judah type of guy, a Floyd guy, these elite boxers, if you can find ways as a trainer and a fighter working together to beat these guys, man, that lifts both you guys up to when we give these guys and put them in the Raptors and all of that, man. Because to me, man, if he could pull this upset off, bro, it'll be damn historic to me. It'll be historic because older guys almost have issues with some of these young fighters that are phenomenal. Not young fighters that are just boxers and they still.
But Valdez is what, like 28?
Valdez like 30 years old, bro.
Man, that's still young, though.
Not for you been boxing 15, 18 years. No, he said he been boxing since he was 20. I mean, so for 20 years. So that's a long time, bro. You're the vet in this scenario. We know that. That's why I said if you're still a vet and you beating these young phenoms, like that's like somebody that's like Sugar Shane Mosley beating Floyd.
But bro, a lot of these dudes been fighting for 20 years, though.
I know, but I'm saying, what's the name hasn't? Shakur hasn't.
Yeah, he has. He been boxing since he was like 6, bro. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these dudes been boxing for like 15, 20 years. Like, I'm just saying he's not old and he's not old and yeah, he's definitely the vet. I mean, obviously, he's the vet. Yeah, obviously he's the vet.
That's all that's my scenario. You want to get technical.
He's not an old vet. He's a vet in this fight.
I didn't say that, but when you still an older guy, but elite with the craft, and you can stop these young phenoms on their way up. So Sugar Shane Mosley could have been that guy to stop the money train. You see what I'm saying? And historically, we remember that. You see what I mean? So to Saturday night can be a historical footnote for us boxing fans, pundits, writers, everybody across the whole landscape, because you got a young dude that's physically better, stronger, bigger. I do believe he's going to be the bigger guy, faster, all of these natural attributes in his favor. But yet this wily vet with some cracks finds a way to break through, you know what I mean, with the great trainer in his corner. And oh yeah, Eddie told me to do this, slip around this way, and this shot gonna be there, and it worked for him. We remember this shit historically, bro. That's why I said Valdez can make history to me. You see what I'm saying? Valdez can make history.
I think this becomes historical if Valdez beats Shakur. And
that's
then Shakur, but Shakur turns around and still becomes as great as everybody think he is.
Yeah,
like
because you can
Valdez is, but you're talking as if Valdez is like 40. Like he's in his physical, but he's hold on, but you said all of these things that Shakur is better than him at. What I'm telling you is that when it comes down to it, Valdez is in his physical prime. And he's at the right age of 30, which is not old in boxing years. So it's historical. It's historical in a sense that it's two guys. I can't even say Shakur is even in his prime. Like I can't even say that he's even in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I'm like, for Shakur to get the victory over Valdez would be historical as well. You know what I'm saying? It'll be historical as well.
Not to me.
How?
Because he's supposed to win.
It's unification, though.
Bro, again, hold up. I'm gonna tell you why he's supposed to win.
I'm not saying he's not supposed to win. I'm saying it's historical.
That it wouldn't be historical because you're supposed to win. When you're supposed to win,
how old is Shakur? How old is Shakur?
24.
You're unified at 24, bro. That's historical.
That's cool.
That's historical.
Okay.
That's not historical.
But I'm taking away from you supposing to win the fight. So it takes a little bit of gloss off that historical moment because you were supposed to win that fight.
It still don't mean that it's not historical though. I think you're correct. I think you're correct.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the bigger historical moment would be for Valdez. You think it? I mean, you're seeming like you going for it being for Shakur. Like historically, the moment would be bigger for Valdez and for Reynoso and them, bro. For that whole entire unit, bro. This would be bigger for them. That can't be argued.
Yeah, I'm not saying which one is more historical than the other. I'm saying both of them are historical. You can't say you can't sit up here and say a 24-year-old that goes unified is not historical. That's big. That's huge. That's huge.
No, when there's no other fights to make for your guy,
history don't look at it like that. History don't look at it like that. When you pull it up in the history books, it's going to be two guys that was in a unification fight. That's how they're going to look at it.
I got you.
Somebody going to make history Saturday. Somebody going to make history Saturday.
You know, people read books and the same words be on the page, and everybody sees something different.
No, I agreed. I'm just saying this: if Valdez beats Shakur, I don't think it's an all-time upset. To me, I don't think it's an all-time upset. Is it an upset? Yeah, it is. Is it an all-time upset? No, it's not. If Shakur wins this fight and cleans Valdez out, he will be one of the more accomplished 24-year-olds that we've seen in the sport.
All right, hold on. I got upset for you. That's it. Perfect fight. Bernard Hopkins beating Kelly Pavlik. If Valdez beats Shakur Stevenson, which is the bigger upset historically? In your estimation, personal. Don't go back to what you read about.
No, I'm gonna give you my personal opinion. And this is not only just me, but this is a lot of other people. A lot of people thought Kelly Pavlik was gonna get his ass whooped. So for me personally, I'm the wrong guy to ask that because I ain't even consider that an upset. And I didn't know you back then. You had Kelly Pavlik was going. Huh?
No, with a boy from Arkansas, I thought he would have beat the brakes off of Bernard. I thought Bernard would have got knocked out by him.
Ooh.
Back then.
Please don't tell me you're talking about Antoine Eccles.
No, the boy that lost to Pavlik. That got
you talking about Jermaine Taylor?
Yeah, I thought Jermaine Taylor would have gave Bernard the business. Jermaine Taylor was on the run.
I thought Jermaine Taylor would have had a better chance of beating Bernard than Pavlik did because Pavlik's style was all wrong for Bernard. All wrong for Bernard. I know going into that fight, I wish I was sports betting back then because I'd have made a goddamn fortune because Bernard was like a plus, like he was like a 3-1 dog. He's like a 3-1 dog.
That shit.
And Kelly Pavlik, he was only known for that Jermaine Taylor fight. And I'm like, yo, B-Hop different. And a lot of the boxing writers was going against Bernard, and it wasn't because of his skill, it's because he had to go up 10 pounds. And they was like, oh, Pavlik is this killer. I was like, between Bernard being different and him having Nazim Richardson in his corner, I said, there's no way Pavlik wins this fight. I understand the question. So to answer your question, Valdez would be a way bigger upset to me, because I feel like Shakur.
So that's my original point.
Not no 1,000 though.
No,
and I never went against your. I never went against your original point. I never went against it.
No,
I didn't say your number was too high.
Historically, I think it'll be bigger historically for Valdez. And just
I'll agree with that only because a lot of people felt like Bernard was going to whip Pavlik ass anyway. Did you
I wasn't
did,
worried
did you
for him.
did you did you did
I
you
was
think
more worried for a Taylor fight with Bernard than I was a Pavlik fight.
no? But going into that fight, did you think Pavlik was going to beat Bernard?
I knew Bernard knew how to move. He showed that in them USA fights. You gotta go back and look at the analog. Everybody thought Bernard was just this, penitentiary, tuck your chin, come forward, banger type of guy. He was a very smart boxer, knew how to stay out of danger. Obviously, you survive greatest for penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? You got some wits about you. So he brought that to the boxing ring, and I thought I didn't think if we considered it athleticism back then. I think we called it just boxing smarts and just being able to
That's
use
craft.
bring to your advantage. We didn't really
Yeah.
call it athleticism at those times.
Yeah. Bro, you got to go to work, don't you?
Most athletic guy. You know what I'm saying? Bernard wasn't athletic. He just used his feet. He did OG shit.
Yeah. You got to go to work, don't you?
Oh shit, yeah, man. We love.
Go ahead, give me social media. I'll continue rocking.
Yeah, no. What's your final call though with me? While I'm here,
I think Shakur gonna win the fight. I'm gonna say 10-round stoppage. I think Oscar Valdez will get his attention at some point during this fight, but I just think footwork gonna be too good, and I think he's just gonna get too many shots off. I think he's gonna eventually walk him down and get him up out of there around 10.
Okay. I'm gonna give you my break. I did a preview and I really didn't kind of dwell into how somebody could win or how somebody could lose or whatever. Just kind of previewing the fight and where they was at to to build up and things like that. And just shoot my 1-2. So if y'all tap into my channel, y'all won't get what you've heard on this podcast with the bro. So it's a lot different from one set to the other set on how we analyze the sport. So anyway. Right here, right now, I'm going to give you a preview and how to break down from Valdez's point of view. Because I don't want to be a guy that's like, dump pile on the rabbit type of dude and shit. So for Valdez and Reynoso on them, I'm going to reiterate it. You got to win those moments. Stay close. That's the don't let this young kid find his range. I think you're the better puncher inside. Just from watching clips right now. Because I've seen instances where these guys that he was fighting and beating up on would have let something go, they might got a reaction out of this dude. But these dudes were just accepting what was coming. So I think Valdez, being the older guy, the more veteran fighter of the two, he going to sit down on something. He going to have to return fire, as we like to say on this channel. And those are the moments for me that Valdez can either stretch it out or he can win rounds, and it may be a back and forth sort of fight. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my breakdown for him. You know what I mean? The lean, obviously, Shakur, dog walk out of there within 7. But I got to keep it balanced when I analyze the sport. So.
Fair enough.
Chat, man. Let's get some reactions.
Blaze through these. Andre Southgate. No, I read that one. He said, G5 statement. Reason Fury pushed White because uppercut thrown. White could not counter if Fury missed. Brilliant defense by Fury. So I know Vlog wasn't in here for it yesterday. But
I tabbed on it on my John. Pushing somebody is something I think we got to kind of catch it a little bit more. Kind of trainers, guys like that, muscle memory, like just gotta catch it.
That shot, Bert, that shot that he threw, anybody else, like you dipped that shot, man. That's supposed to have been a KO the other way. You don't throw an uppercut like that. Not mid range, like that's not nothing technical about that. Like I said,
it was a timing shot, bro. That's all it was. Yeah. He threw
that was a horrible shot. That was a horrible shot to get caught with.
It was. At the same time, real quick, Dillian White also knew, okay, I got rocked. But he obviously wasn't that rock to acknowledge that he got pushed also. So,
Bro, he didn't get it. So I'll lead you with this. When he staggered after he got up, was it from the punch or from the push?
it could have been a combination. That's my point.
I ain't never seen a push had you doing the
No,
stank leg, bro.
not just the put. If the man head hit the canvas, you gonna tell me you
If
not
you
feeling
look at
something?
it, if you look at it, the back of his head did not bounce off that canvas. It didn't.
It looked like it to me.
Nah, you had to watch. You had to watch it again, bro. Watch it again. It did not bounce.
Y'all saw the edited versions.
No, I seen the real. No, I seen the real version. I seen the real version.
All
I
of
seen
it.
no edited version.
I'm Jeff. It's a joke. Calm down, bro. You know Tyson Fury, and he got his folks out there working.
That's why I said I ain't watch his version. I knew where you was going. You calling Mr. Shenanigans. I ain't going there with you. I ain't going there with you. Hold on. Let me run through these real quick so you get up out of here, bro. Toshi, he said Shakur will have some problems with the pressure. Valdez has edge on experience and grit. Shakur doesn't take the best punch. When has he ever been hurt in a fight? Let me continue. Let me continue. Toshi, come on, bro. Toshi. Hey, matter of fact, Toshi, you the reason why we went viral the last time with that. I might have to drop this.
Bumping your gums about
bumping your gums. Yeah, I might have to drop this one again, bro. Valdez picks up in the second half. What was that? Hour 45 minutes. I'm definitely time stamping that. Jamie, boys worth sticking. Amanda to beat Katie Taylor on the weekend. Good odds, 6-4 points victory. I'm Jamie. I'm not completely against that. Brendan Smith, if Fury don't fight Usyk or AJ, I never forget if as a Fury fan. Never forget it as a Fury fan. Yeah, I think he got to fight the winner of that and then get up out of here. Andre Southgate, Fury is a talent for sure, most talented in heavyweight division, no doubt. I agree though, Brennan. He needs to fight the winner of AJ versus Usyk. Yeah, I think it's gonna happen. Clarence McLean, big shout out to you, family. Andre Southgate.
I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Mm-hmm.
Only way he do that shit if that dude get 60, 80.
They put it in Dubai. He probably will. Put it in Dubai.
That's the only way they do that. The max out 120 basketball numbers. You know what I'm saying? You know
basketball numbers in one night.
You got the basketball numbers.
Basketball numbers in one night.
Yes, sir.
Andre Southgate, looking forward to the Valdez Stevenson fight for sure. My gut says Valdez may land something big. I mean, if he lands something big, we're gonna see how Shakur responds, man. Andre Southgate, Stevenson, a true talent though, young and hungry. He may be more hungrier than Valdez. Definitely looked better than him in his last fight. Valdez wasn't that good in his last fight. Agreed.
This is where I wanted to tap in about what's the advantage. Young boy don't got the cloud around him. The young boy don't got, all of the Broner ass hype team. A lot of that extra stuff with you, extra baggage that weigh you down come fight night. You know what I'm saying? This confrontation happened, this court case looming, blah, blah, blah. Your boy, on the other hand, got a lot of mental stuff that he dealing with. He talking about how people, turned their back on him, this, that, and the third. A lot of emotional stuff, man. This is a heavy game, bro. So if you not mentally clear, bro, which you can say one thing with the cameras in front of you, and it be something totally different. And that first episode that I watched of that Blood, Sweat, and Tears, he ain't look good, bro. I seen him. You look physically okay, but you didn't look spiritually okay. Like, you still look like you were feeling them words you were sharing with the interviewer. So, questionable when it comes to this night, bro. Maybe that he gonna need that Reynoso pack. You know what I'm saying? He gonna need to be energized, bro.
The Reynoso pack. Hold on. Big shout out to Greg Hackett who said that. That was the first person I heard say that Reynoso pack. Big shout out to him. Burt Wood, counterpuncher will catch Shakur walking in with his hands down. I don't see that happening.
But think about Shakur with his hands down. You saw
exactly.
He always comes in.
Yeah, he's always
dipping.
And the thing is, people think you gotta have your hands all the way up here, or you gotta have them like here, like you're taking two phone calls. You don't have to. I'm like, if you got them here and you had the ability to go up, down, block here, block there. Having them here is a good position. As long as
Yeah.
you keeping your head moving and things like that, as long as you just not here and you stationary. The point is you can have your defensive stance as long as you're not stationary. As long as you keep your head off the line, you can pretty much have whatever stance you want. Andre Southgate, the lead left hook is Valdez. Ticket needs to make Shakur feel that power, try to slow him down. I said the lead left hook to keep him centered.
My
If he
thing
lands
is
it, he
with
lands
that.
it.
That's my thing. You are dealing with intelligent camps, bro. So we know that. You just said that, Andre. G5 said that. They know that too then. So how is Valdez going to set that up? I told you. Throw that jab coming out automatically. Whether it's landing, whether it's accurate, just show it.
I wouldn't even his first 2 rounds. I wouldn't even throw a right hand, bro. It'd be all jabs and left hooks, all jabs and lead left hooks.
Again, I'm trying to tell you, bro. You got to set that jab. You got to set him up, make him think about something different. I haven't seen him throw a lot of overhands either.
He don't
Especially
throw a lot of hooks. He don't throw a lot of overhands. He throws a lot of hooks with his guy and a
another
lot of lead
perfect
hooks.
punch. Another perfect punch. Just to find some space. Get you some space. Get him to think about a different punch coming at him. And he does fight high at times. We've seen him dipping when he's in super stalk mode, but generally when he feels like he has an advantage, he's coming right through your front door.
I know the one thing Shakur can't do. He can't hook with a hooker though. He don't want to
no,
hook with. He don't want to hook with Valdez. Let's not get too confident. He don't want to hook with Valdez. You don't hook with a hooker.
He wanted. I thought he stung up Herring pretty good with the 1-2s. I thought the 1-2s was stinging him,
and that's what he's going. That's what he's going to have to stick
with the
to.
hook.
Yeah, that's what he's going to have to stick to. To be honest with you, Shakur will be most effective if he finishes off his combinations to the body. If he finishes his combinations off to the body, that'll give him an opportunity to reset, reestablish a distance, things like that. But you don't hook with a hooker. He can't hook with Valdez. Don't hook with him. If that's probably the one thing, that's the one thing Valdez should actually hope for, is that he hopes Shakur hook with him.
Shakur, it's a good opportunity to work on some heavy shots because you're dealing with a guy that likes to pivot. You're good with your feet. You pivot, you out pivot him. That opens up a lot of your single heavies to a guy like Valdez, who is open when you notice how he throws. He throws wide, but they're still compact for his size, but you can catch him inside if you're quicker. And I think Shakur's quicker. So if they do a pivot game with the spinning and the getting in close and trying to find the range and the angles, he could probably out pivot Valdez and creep in with something nasty inside, which would be new for him. You know what I mean? Would be something that he hasn't had to work on or show us he has the ability of. So I think he does. I mean, he close to being pound for pound top 5 to me. I got him back in on my top 10, but just because of the Nicotalia fight, I thought he didn't really step on the gas. So you know what I mean? Yeah, he didn't show me he could take a punch too, because it didn't just seem like he was willing for that exchange. Because again, I don't think they were sure about that dude's power, so they didn't really engage as much. He controlled it, like he said. You did control the fight. I'm not saying you didn't, young buck. I thought y'all was weary about the engaging. That's all I could say. So I still want you to get up there on my pound for pound, but you right outside that top 5 knocking on the door.
All right, fair enough. Burt Wood, when Fighter was on rope, Shakur hand was down walking in the video you showed. So Burt, let me explain this before we get up out of here, because my man got to get to work. So when you got your guy that hurt, and I know what part of the video you're talking about, when you got your guy that hurt, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna see a guy open up, and they're not gonna be defensively sound as they usually would be, because they in kill mode, and especially when your guy is badly hurt. That part of the video, the guy was extremely hurt. Now, is that an excuse for you not to have your hands all the way up? No, it's not. But most of the time, when the dude in kill mode, a lot of the times you'll see them with their hands down and they're going for it. So I wouldn't take that. I would take that with a grain of salt. Usually he comes in, he's defensively responsible. for the most part. You agree with that, Vlog?
Yeah. I agree with that.
Uh,
That's why I said Valdez has to win those moments. It's not going to
yeah,
be every moment.
true,
There'll be
true.
certain moments that he should be.
You got
They
to
need
win the
to be
exchanges.
taken advantage of.
When they had them bang bang moments, he got to win them exchanges. You know what I'm
Be
saying? It's like in
first to me.
basketball. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
you
gotta
gotta
be
be
first.
first. You gotta be first with Shakur. You gotta be first. You gotta be first with the jab. To be honest with you, he should be doubling and tripling the jab. And when he's not doubling and tripling the jab, he should be throwing that lead left hook.
Can we go back in the chat? Go back in time and tell everybody. Haven't I been saying that all goddamn show? The
What as far as
jab
the jab? Yeah, the jab is important. The
for
jab is very
Valdez.
important. It's important for him for the simple fact that he gets off first. He ain't got to land the shit. Like you just gotta
And,
give you gotta give Shakur something to think about. He can't just walk in there and do whatever he want.
and guess what I said? It's a defensive weapon that's also
Correct.
an offensive weapon for
Correct.
him.
Agreed. 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 Bert Wood said, "Vlog, did you win a lot of money on the White Fury? White Fury, LOL."
Bro, I ain't hit a parlay in over 2 months, bro. It's been one fucking fight, bro, and goddamn it, I switched up last minute because the payout wasn't good when I added Fury to the parlay. So I said, well, shit, man, White a tough fucking nut to crack. Fury on his way out the side door. Money looked good, putting White on there. I put White on there, fucking parlay off.
Yeah. Bert Wood, reason Fury pushed White because uppercut thrown White could not counter. Oh yeah, I read that one already. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be an interesting fight, man. I'm looking forward to it, and we're gonna break it down a little more tomorrow. We'll probably get more into the gambling side of it.
You got
Talk
to
about
talk to
that a little
Zan,
bit
too.
more.
Got to
Mhm.
talk that the Zan card with the folks, man.
Yeah, we got to talk to the zone card as well. They got a card as well, and a couple other fights we got to touch on. Ammo Williams is fighting
Hey,
this
low
weekend.
key, low key, man. Everybody, we all fight fans across the board, man. We got a couple legacy cats fighting this weekend. I think it's Friday night. Fight TV is Hasim Rockman Jr. coming in at 12-0, 6 knockouts against James McKinson Morrison coming in 19-0, two draws, 17 KOs. It's a heavyweight contest. It's an interesting fight, man. They call
Yeah,
them bar fighters, but they still legacy cats, man. So you know what I mean. Big
yeah.
respect to them. Also, what's the name? Son active. You should be having a fight coming up. Gerald McCullum Jr. Shout out to him, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What's the name? Obviously Antonio Tarver Jr. active. So a lot of young legacy fighters active.
Charles Brewer's son too. Charles Brewer Jr.
What?
Um, Charles
Oh
Brewer.
man. Oh man,
You
bro.
know that before we go, bro,
I'm
I gotta tell a quick story about that, yo. So Charles Brewer, I can get Charles Brewer Jr. on through YSM, like so. It wouldn't be a problem. But here's the funny thing, right? My first fight that I ever watched live was at the Blue Horizon, and my uncle took me when I was a kid. Charles Brewer Sr. was the main event. So when I found out his son was fighting, I was like, my main goal was to get Senior and Junior on camera at the same time. And this is probably about 2 years ago. So I reached out to Senior, and I think he had somebody controlling his account. So I sent, a request like for, interview or whatever. So they respond with a price list for like some hair products and some shit. And I was like, what? I'm like, I'm like, dude, I'm like, am I buying hair products to get an interview? Is that what we doing? And I never got a response. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, it's just funny how life come around full circle. Like I was just like, I can, get Brewer Jr. on, and he a tough dude, man. He a tough dude, southpaw, get busy. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these young, legends in the game, they got these sons and things like that in the game, man, trying to keep the legacy alive. And it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss, and you got Nigel Benn, Conor Benn, where Conor Benn is, honoring the name pretty well. And then you got Chavez Senior and Junior. And Junior is not honoring the name very well, like from a boxing standpoint. You know what I'm saying? So it's a hit or miss. Like you can do Hector
you know
Camacho
a guy
Senior and
that
Junior. Mm-hmm.
who
Hector
who you
Camacho Senior, Hector Camacho Senior and Junior. Junior don't really hold the name that well. So I mean,
yeah.
you know what
I'm
I
worried
mean?
about Vargas too, man. Fernando Vargas Jr. I think he's gonna be one of those Joey Spencer like guys. They're gonna really cupcake him through his career. So I'm
Yeah.
worried about guys like that don't really have to run the gauntlet because they quote unquote so connected. You know what I mean? Cali don't have a lot of big boxing stars, so I'm sure they're gonna
Yeah.
take a lot of
Who
care of the ones that they do have.
but who if you're Joey Spencer, Spencer fights at what, 154, right? He fighting at 54.
160.
Yeah. You fighting at 60?
Yeah, Spencer 160.
Oh, who would oh well, I'll take back my question. There ain't nobody at 160. Okay. All right, I'll take it back. I was gonna say, who do you put him up against as a step up fight? But there's nobody at 160, like literally. Like there's nobody at 160.
I don't think they want him to step up, bro.
He may
You don't
not.
want to kill that market, bro. There's a
I'm
certain market these guys are for.
Yeah, but the thing is though, you got to take the same approach as the Conor Ben situation. Eventually, you got to see what you got in your guy, and
I,
you can't put him up against any and everybody. And yes, I'm
no,
using your phrase, and I'm using
bro,
it against you. Yes,
bro, no. I'm just telling you how I see what they're doing. I think I see it with Sheehy. I think they're gonna keep
but it's
putting
too
Sheehy.
early.
No, I just think I'm just thinking that,
You're
bro.
just projecting. Okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
that's what it is. That's the word. I'm
I got you.
projecting that. I feel like that's the future plan. Like they're never gonna put Sheehy in a situation where, unless he's fully got a Garcia type of crowd that's gonna support him. I don't think Garcia people support step off if he lose. Ryan, that's Ryan Garcia. So even Canelo type people, like if he lose, they gonna still be his folks. So with these guys like a Sheehy or a guy like a Spencer, I think if he takes a loss, a outmatched loss, you can see his skills is not next level. He gets exposed, like you're gonna lose that draw. So I think they tiptoeing with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, because I think Joey Spencer, his best victory might be James Martin, and that's not
That
good.
was close.
No, he
He
nah,
won, but
he beat him clear. He beat him clear.
he he
He
he,
beat him
he
clear.
didn't get the KO.
Yeah, but he beat him clear though.
He should have got the KO. Should have
Not
got
against
the KO.
James. Not against James Martin. He just came off. That's why I'm questioning whether. That's why I'm questioning whether he fights at 60. I want to say he fight at 54, dog.
He could be, but they ain't
I
trying to
think he
send him
fight at
in
50.
there.
Yeah, I think he fight at
That's even
54.
more of my reason to say they not sending him in there. See?
It's more of a, no, it make more sense for him at 60 why he not seeing nobody because ain't nobody there. 54 is a whole lot of options, and I can understand it from that aspect if it's 54. No, because the
Yeah.
only reason I say that is because I know Milnicki fights at 47, and James Martin beat Milnicki at 47. So I don't think James Martin went from 47 to 60. I think he went from 47 to 54.
Okay.
But regardless, he needs to step up fight, regardless of what weight he's in, 54 or 60. It don't matter. He needs to
I agree. I
actually, you
agree.
know what? He need to fight my man. I can't even say that. I ain't even gonna put his name out there because he been slacking. I ain't gonna his nickname is the Hitman, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But my man been slipping. But uh we gonna leave it there, man. 2 hours, 4 minutes strong, man. Get my man out here to work so he can get his paper. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go get mine too. But give me social media so we can get up out of here, bro.
You see me on the screen. I'm on YouTube, Boxing the Word First Vlog. Check me out on Instagram, same way. Just tweet it out. Sugar Hill Trainer of the Year. Uh, hit me up on IG, man. Boxing the #1 STVLOG. We here, we working. You know what it is, man. Salute to the team. G5 Jeff TV, your host. You know what I mean.
Yes, sir.
Everybody in the
Yes,
chat,
sir.
respect. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Big shout out to everybody that jumped in here today. No doubt about it. Big shout out to VP Shane. I don't know where he at, but big shout out to him. And y'all can follow me all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, G5JeffTV. Spoke with Shane yesterday. Website will be revamped within the next 10 days. And we talking completely revamped from top to bottom. So we gotta put the package together for Will Stokes season 2. Um, Prediction League winner. So we got to highlight him on the website. We got to get season 3 going. We got to get our sponsor for season 3, get all the advertisements and things like that going on with that. So we can get that rolling in. So we got a lot going on. We got articles coming up. We got a show tomorrow. We're gonna cap off Valdez and Stevenson, probably do some final predictions, and then we're gonna jump into this DAZN card. For the record, I know a lot of y'all don't care about this type shit. But when a fighter that I like has been in a grueling fight, I like to check up on them afterwards, make sure they straight. So I did holler at Kevin Cunningham today, one of my favorite trainers in the game, and asked him how Erickson Lubin was doing. He said he was doing great from the health side. So I wanted to actually report that to the people out there. But that's from Kevin Cunningham to the people. Erickson Lubin is doing okay. And Kevin Cunningham, I think, is actually with Emma Williams now because he has a fight this Saturday. So that's just some news for you guys. But listen, on behalf of VP Shane, aka Ice Cold Shane, Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1 Point, soon to be 1K, and your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. On behalf of the staff, make sure your asses is back here tomorrow.